Hello, I'm Mark from lb.Giant.com. What I'd like to show you today is how to plant tomato plants. But first I'd like to show you, back in 1973, when I was 12 years old, cutting lawns, this was a weed whacker. We didn't have weed whackers yet. There wasn't no pulling rope, it was just swinging, baby. And this was how we played our music, an 8-track. Here's my Elvis 8-track. Just to take you back, I'm an old dog, but some of our old tricks are quite nice. Check this out. I'll show you how to plant tomato plants. What we have here, this is a tomato plant here that was bought in a store, and this is one that's pretty much designed to grow on a deck. It's already got blossoms on it. It's in its little cage, and it's really not what I would consider a big enough pot to grow tomatoes for the summer. But hey, if that's what you got, I don't recommend you buying plants with blossoms on them. I recommend smaller plants. Start out with a smaller plant like this, and what you need to do is pull these out. When you pull them out, you want to remove the bottom leaves. Take them completely off, the bottom branches, and you see all that base? We're going to plant that in the ground. We're going to take that right in, plant her right down sideways. Take her sideways. We take a little bit of my root inoculant, Mark's Root Keeper, beneficial mycorrhiza, bacillus, and we will take, you can either water it in after you're done or take a little bit and sprinkle it along the stem base here, because a tomato plant, unlike a lot of other plants, will grow roots up the stem. You can't do this with all plants, but tomatoes, it will, if you see on this, it will grow roots all the way up. So if you plant this sideways in the ground in a trench like this, and then maybe we can get a little more of a close-up, Andy. Are you close enough? Or? Mm-hmm. And then we'll bury this like this, and then go ahead and just tip this edge up. It looks a little awkward, but it will grow just fine. Now you have all that base in there, will ignite new roots on there and grow with the Root Keeper, Mark's Root Keeper. Anyways, next thing you want to do is you want a cage. I use these. This is just concrete wire. I bought a big roll of concrete wire and built these myself. They make awesome tomato cages. And you bring them into the soil, just work them down in good. And one thing people don't do is they don't stake the cage. You must stake the cage, because the first storm that comes along is going to take and blow that right out of there. So we stake the cage, pound this in, get some wire, cable ties. Cable ties would work really good for this. Get that down in there pretty deep because, whoa, there you go. It's hammer time. Get that pretty deep, cable tie it off, and there you go. The storm that comes through will not take your plant down. I know a lot of people, when they put the cages in without support, the first storm that comes through takes it down. Then another big important thing you want to do with planting tomatoes is the diseases that come on a lot of these plants are from the dirt. When it rains, the dirt splashes onto the leaves of the plant. This is onsetting the disease. So what we do is we take mulch, straw, wood shavings, and you place that around here so that when it rains, you don't get the splash up onto the plant. Now as the plant grows up, these lower branches that are touching the ground, you'll remove. You can let them go at first, but then remove them, because that's where your disease is going to start. They should not be touching that soil, and make sure you replenish this wood chips, on a weekly basis or whatever. Make sure that if the wind comes along, a storm, it doesn't expose a lot of dirt here. And there you go, there you have it. And it's best, remember, always rotate your tomatoes to a new spot each season. That way you'll get away from the blights and all that. But anyways, if you do buy a plant, one last note, if you do buy a plant like this, like I mentioned before, pick all the blossoms and fruit off, because this plant is now in blossom mode. And when you stick it in the ground and transplant it, you want it in veg mode. You want it to start growing plant. So it's best just to remove all these blossoms if transplanted into the soil. All right, there you go. You have it. The basics on getting tomato plants started. Keep them watered. Don't water them every day and keep them soaked. That's not good. Most problems with plants are they're either overwatered or underwatered. With tomatoes, you probably need to water them like twice a week, depending on when the rainfalls come. But anyways, come to lb.Giant.com and check out. We have giant seeds, And for you guys like to grow regular tomatoes, you can pick them up at the store, but we have how to grow tips and practices all year round. All right? Thank you very much for watching.